What up, everybody? I did a 7-hour live stream today. Seven hours. Forgot to enable monetization. Oops. That's okay, though. We do it for the lulls and the fun. So if you're just tuning in, this is not how I woke up. But it's been this long of a day. Okay? This is the ERCF version 2 by FYSETC. FYSETC, link in the description. And it is a multicolor, multi-material, open source switcher system for Clipper. Check it out. Look how pretty. And I'd say at this point we're about halfway done, maybe. Waiting for the AC to kick on. Shalom, Eyal Brigger. You're going to really like what's in my background. Check this out. See that right there? It's nice, right? So yeah, welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm just going to continue building. And as you have questions, let me know. Part of the reason I'm documenting this build this way is just to film B-roll and have footage. But it's also nice for other people to be able to follow along and offer help. Here, check this out. Look at all my fancy camera angles. Why aren't you connected? See? Got that camera angle. See that? So fancy, right? So fancy. Drop a like if it's fancy. And yeah, let's do this thing. So as you can see, we got this. Here's where I left off. And if you want to watch the previous 7-hour live stream, it now has monetization enabled because it did not before. Saludos desde Spain, España. Hola, mucho gusto. ¿Cómo te vayas? That is not my current coffee cup. That's the coffee cup that got me through this morning. Hey-o, Sindra. All right, let's do this thing. Ready? Where is my manual? Where's the manual? All right, let's do this. Here we go. Filament blocks. Those are all installed. We're done with this part. Now, Bondtech gear alignment. Obviously, after I tightened all the gears. Let me go get a piece of filament. Seven hours in. Welcome everyone. אפשר קישור למאיפה שהורדת, אני הצבתי את זה אחי, וזה עוד לא מושלם, וברגע שזה כן יהיה מושלם, אז אני אתן לך קישור, בשמחה ובאהבה. אני אעלה את זה. Asking about my sign. All right. So insert a small piece of PTFE tube. A few centimeters is enough. Well, you didn't tell me I need to get PTFE tube. Why don't I go get some that's already cut? You guys, I'm so broken already after the 7-hour live stream. But I just feel like if I put this off, it's just never going to happen. All right, insert a small piece of PTFE tube, a few centimeters, into the filament block ECAS. The ERCF works for any Clipper printer. Any Clipper printer that you want. You'll have to deal with your own filament cutting solution or find an alternative to cutting the filament. But it works for any Clipper printer. However, I think I am going to turn my SVO8 into a tool changer, which reminds me, I want to message a potential sponsor about that. Hey, man. How are ya? I think I'm going to turn my SVO8 into a 5-to-7 tool changer with custom tool heads. Spoiler alert! All right, spoiler alert. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn my SV08 into a 5 to 7 tool changer because I like to suffer, as you can see by the fact that I'm building a 12-headed Hydra monster of a tool changer. All right, insert a small piece of PTFE tube into the filament block ECAS. Insert a piece of filament through the block until it comes out the other side. Depending on the shape, it may get caught. You know how some projects, like, if you stop, it's over. Like, you'll put it away for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it'll just never happen. So, by the way, I'm using Polymaker filament because everything you're going to see today, except for the clear parts, is printed in Polymaker filament. Thank you, Polymaker, official sponsor of my ridiculous escapades. All right, make sure that the flat surface of the drive shaft is facing up towards. That's right. Perfect alignment, but it doesn't go through. Why doesn't it go through? Because my life is a lie. I don't know. It doesn't go through. Maybe there's a little something something in here that needs to be flushed out. Yes. Yes! Get some, baby. But I don't like how much resistance there is. Where's Ivan when you need him? Which is always. There's a lot of resistance trying to go through here. Almost as if the hole is too small. It's not there. It's actually on this little thing. But I have a feeling that's because it needs to engage. Like if you go like this and push down, does it get better? Yeah, it does. I just don't like how much resistance there is. Okay, let's see. Make sure the flat surface of the drive shaft is da-da-da-da-da. Use the filament to align and center the gear. So let me show you guys what we're dealing with here, okay? And as you have questions or requests for what you want to see, just let me know, okay? I love you guys. Okay, we need to align this. Why am I not seeing the grub screws? There you are. Little grubby screws. Little grub-a-dubs. Okay, that's one. I'm not even going to use a PTFE tube here. That's two. That one can go down a little bit. Little grub-a-dub. Wubba-lubba-dub-dub. Who gets that reference? Drop it in the chat. Or if you get the reference, say, I'm Pickle Rick! I have a lot more energy now that I actually went outside and got the sun in my eyes and saw my children for a few minutes. By the way, this stream is brought to you by Grandma Ofra because she is with my children so that I can do this. Thank you, Grandma Ofra. You can spam the comments with thank you, Grandma. Okay, that's lined up. This one could afford to come down. A little tibby-dibby. Somehow, I think there were more people on, like way more people, when I was streaming at 4 a.m. Eastern time. Hold on, let's tweet about this on the Twitters. All right. We good? Thanks, Grandma. Indeed. Also powered by coffee. Oh, this one really needs to change location. I feel like I should be putting thread locker. Should I not be putting thread locker? Don't forget to use the little thread locker on the set screw. Yep. Figured as much. I wonder if I can just put thread locker once they're tightened without having to undo it. I'm going to go get some thread locker. So worth noting that the liquids do not come with the kit. Like no grease and no thread locker, which I think is important to know before you embark upon the build. Oh crap, I just spilled thread locker everywhere. It was really primed and ready to come out. It is a super fun project. I've been told that the other parts of the project, as in the software config and tuning and getting it working perfect, less fun. Okay. Okay. Does anyone know if thread locker actually works if you put it on the outside? Like, will it feed itself into that grub screw, or am I just doing a whole lot of nothing? Wow, it comes out so fast. I want to like get it out of the nozzle so I can have a little more control. But it's just gooping out. Yeah, I think the hole is way too big on this. I am back. Welcome, Julie. Julie kept me company pretty much all day. So thank you for that. Valued contributions to my sanity. Okay. Here's my new method. Is put a little thread locker, loosen the screw a little bit, tighten the screw a little bit. It specifically says that thread locker degrades ABS. This is ASA, but let's not tempt fate. Okay, that one is lined up. Let's go back overhead. That one could afford to come down a bit. Put some on a toothpick. Oh, that's smart. That is smart. That is very smart. I like it. I like it a lot. This is the other reason I do the live streams. I personally, some of these projects I would just prefer to do by myself. No offense, guys, but enjoy the process, enjoy the build, put on a great movie or something, and then yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Put it on the edge. But you guys are really helpful often. So that's great. Except for the awesome individual who told me which motor to put and then told me the wrong motor, and so I spent like 45 minutes disassembling and reassembling. That kind of sucked. But I forgive. Don't criticize the help you get, right? Still no answer as to whether the thread locker actually works if you put it in on top of the screw once it's already tightened. I'm assuming it's not as good. But I don't want to undo the whole grub screw after I perfectly align everything. By the way, your trick works a treat. Just get a little thread locker on there, like a dollop. Work up, work it into the hole. Ha! Boop! Give it a boop. In a second, we're going to clean all the excess thread locker. For those of you who are concerned. No idea about the thread locker on top. Looks like it's coming together now. It really is starting to actually look like a thing. I was going to call it quits for the day, but then someone was like, I just started a 27-hour multicolor print, so I wonder if you can finish by then. Which at some point I will need to sleep, but I'm enjoying the build, so. I enjoyed the V1 build a lot, which is why I didn't film it. Which reminds me, I should be filming some of this. Oh, I was filming that whole thing. Idiot. Well, I guess I can turn that into a time lapse. But yeah, I just filmed like 20 minutes at 4K video. Super great. My memory cards love me. The companies that I buy my memory cards from love me even more. Well, we have some thread locker on the gears, but I don't think it's a big problem. It'll work off over time. All right. Repeat this process, all filament blocks. Boom, bada bum, bada bing. Now, how do I get this thing off? Was I supposed to put these blue things in so that I could actually get the PTFE tubes out? I suspect the answer to that is a resounding yes. So, nope. I don't think these fit in there, do they? I mean, it would make sense that they would, right? It's not feeling like a yes. But if I don't know how to get the PTFE out, so... Huh. Let's try without a PTFE tube in there. By the way, sorry I'm sweating. It's really hot under these lights, and the AC hasn't really gotten into the full swing yet. I don't think that these are supposed to have these blue things in there. We have extra, though, so we could try without damaging the ones that are already in there. Just doesn't look to me like they go in. Those teeth are really, really in there. If I were alone, I would take my shirt off. It's that hot in here. Under these lights. Did I leave a door open or something? How am I supposed to take these PTFEs off now that I've put one in? Does this accept these little blue guys? Really doesn't seem like it. Headphone warning. Okay, no, yeah, totally does. And I don't know how I'm gonna get them in now without breaking things. Totally should have put those on before. All right, let's come up with a tool of some sort to bang these guys on there. My God, you guys, I'm sweating bullets here. Schwitzing. Earlier, I was teaching everyone all the Yiddish words I know. Here's a solution. It is a straw. It is a steel straw. But I kind of don't want to break my steel straw or dent it. But that's precisely what I need to get the job done. So let's find something that's going to protect the edge of it, like a piece of plastic. Damn, that actually worked. Ha! How you like me now? All right, let's get all these guys in. So now I should be able to just pull the PTFE out. Let's put all these guys in. The big takeaway from the 7-hour live stream that I did before was batching. Like if you need to pick up a tool, pick it up once you've already done all the setup. All in all, as I explained earlier, I think this is going pretty well, this build. Oh, okay. Should have expected that. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why I thought that would work. It's really hard to get those in. There's no way you're doing it without a hammer. Satisfying. Satisfying crunch. Great. Replace top hats. All right, so place the top hats hinge first into the filament paths. You don't need to undo the latches to push the top hats into place. So these are the top hats, these little fancy guys. Top hat, get it? Just take these little buggeroos, make sure they're clean. Just pop them. And then, as they say, once you pop, the fun don't stop. But you do have to get them in all the way correctly. Look at that. Tiki, 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 tiki. How you like me now? If I could actually get most of this done today, I'll be so happy. I've had zero motivation to work on any of the video ideas I'm working on right now this week, so this is like all the content I have prepared for this week. I do need to swap some of these numbers around. I think they're all upside down. I'm pretty sure. I guess it depends. But yeah, no, they're all upside down. Damn. There's no way to fix them now. Whatever, they're upside down. Wow, you're still going, yeah. Can't beat the timing. That's awesome. Well, now you'll have a video cataloging literally every single step of it. Although I think someone else also did a video series cataloging the entire thing. But I hope I can be of some help to you. Just make sure as you're watching my live stream, like you go forward a little bit and make sure that I didn't 10 minutes later say, oh shoot, that was the wrong way. Because I tend to do that. Happened to me in a couple places. This one really doesn't want to go. Sorry, I keep showing you guys the top of my head. That's not fun. Nobody wants to see that. I mean, I gotta just once again, like, really praise the ERCF team and the voron team. It is insane to me that mere mortals developed a system like this. Like, I can design single parts pretty well, individual parts, you know, but such complex assemblies with hundreds and hundreds of parts that interact and this one sticks a little. And, you know, it's crazy to me that people can do this. Like, I want to believe that the people who did this are like actually trained engineers. But if my experience in the voron community has taught me anything, some of them are just self-taught, you know? And that to me is amazing. All right, so there is all of the selectors. They all work pretty well. This one sticks. Might need a little loving, or it might get better over time. Okay, need a break. I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. I told my wife she should embrace her mistakes. She gave me a hug. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. I'm reading a book on anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. I have a joke about time travel, but you didn't like it. That's funny. Okay, this is where we're going. Pro tip that I shared with everyone on the previous stream, don't look at the exploded view because it's super overwhelming. Just look at the parts piece by piece by piece. Guys, interact with me in the chat, otherwise it gets super lonely and boring. Like, talk to me, ask questions. I don't envy your hands tomorrow after this. Yeah. The last time I did one of these, my hands hurt a lot. Like a lot. But I love it. I really enjoy the mechanical part of the builds. And I have some like local friends who enjoy the electronics part and help me because I don't mind wiring. I like following the directions and doing the wiring, but I hate all the like configuring clipper or compiling. Like that's just not fun to me. I'm told that this one makes that easier with Happy Hair, the software that runs it, but yeah, I love the just configuring. It's really going to bother me that these numbers are all upside down. But I don't think you're going to see it the way that I'm going to orient it. I'm going to put it like this, and I don't think anyone's ever going to see it. I have to just be okay with it because it's way too much work to take this apart and redo it. Way too much work. All right, so 4 M3 nuts, great. By the way, are you guys happy with the view? You got an overhead, you got me. I guess I could make me bigger because there's nothing happening here except tools. But otherwise, are you guys pretty content with the view? All right, cool. I think that's good, right? And then let me know if you want close-ups. Just interact. That would be my request. ECAS adapter. All right, it's time to play. Find that part. I win. I always win at find that part. I've gotten very good at it. Oh, nope, I didn't win. This is not find that part. I got cocky with my find that part game. Can never get cocky when you're playing find that part. This isn't it either. This isn't it either. Or is it? It is. Bypass. Okay, now we know to put these little things on first. This is IKEA for pros, yeah. And I just recently built a kitchen. That's awesome. I love building stuff. Hi, I'm Bob, and I like to make stuff. He was on the podcast, and he was a great guest. All right. Pop goes the weasel. Needs a little persuasion. Headphone warning. Beauty. And a bypass. So it goes like this. By the way, point out if I'm making mistakes. Someone on the live stream was like, hey, 2 of those are backwards. Saved me a ton of effort. Oh, I love when it just goes like that. That is satisfying. It does hang over the edge a little bit, but so does theirs. Okay. Okay, M3 by 8s. Okay. Okay. I feel it. Gotta push these guys back a little bit. Okay, why is only one of them lined up? That's bizarre. That's very bizarre. Only one of them lines up. Did I put them on backwards? Maybe. I do like to put things on backwards, but no, I did it right. Okay, so why don't you fit? Ah, maybe just one of them needs to get slid down. Is there a bunch of innuendo there? I didn't even catch it. I'm laser focused. That should do the trick. Guys, this is actually starting to look like a real thing. I am very pleased with myself. Almost enough that I forgive myself for forgetting to enable monetization on the 7-hour stream that I did today. So stupid. All right, that's in. Locked. It's weird to... Oh, this is a bypass. That's great that there's a bypass in case I don't want to deal with the ERCF. Or if it's broken or something like that. That's fantastic. It literally says right on there, bypass. I have a feeling I'll be using that. Or maybe not. 12 is a lot. So part of me feels like I'm going to just load up every color of the rainbow, black, white, and maybe some other filaments, and then I just don't even need to change filament. You know? 12 is a lot. Like, what, 7 colors in the rainbow? Okay, now this guy needs to come out. Everything else is fully tightened, which means we need to use a magnet or something. You know what's magnetic to the extreme is the LTT screwdriver, as you can see. Ha, it's working. Kinda. Kinda. Am I going to do multi-material? Well, so this isn't great for multi-material compared to a multi-tool head, but I'm going to experiment with it because, you know, that's my job. And I'll definitely try. Oh, that worked with the magnet. I'll definitely try to do multi-material, but as I mentioned before, I'm thinking more and more that I'm going to do a multi-tool head. Nice. I just got a sponsor for a multi-tool head build on the SVO8. Hold on. Great. I just got a sponsor for the multi-tool head. Shout out to Jason at LDO Motors, who's going to sponsor a multi-tool head build. I was actually building a xenomorph, but I guess now we're doing a multi-tool head build. And maybe we'll do it on live stream if these work out to be good for the channel. All right. We need a M3x8 screw. That's exciting. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of freaking work, though. Oh, PVA. That's cool. I think, you know, it'll be good for, like, PETG supports. But, you know, if you want to do multiple materials and stuff like that, like, it is better to have multiple tool heads. I don't know. I don't have enough experience with all of the above outside of just Bamboo Lab ecosystem to really comment on it. Like, I think with the purging, Ivan told me that he has his ERCF down to 12 seconds for filament swap, but that doesn't include purging. But 12 seconds is pretty good, right? But then I'm also going to do a rat rig probably with IDEX. And that thing switches in like half a second. So, wow, I have a lot of really exciting like builds and stuff like that coming up. I've taken on a lot. So make sure you subscribe. And consider becoming a channel member or dropping a super thanks, because I'd love to do more live streams like this, but I can never justify them because I should be making content that sponsors pay for, you know, and this is not a sponsored live stream. So it's always hard. Like, this is way easier, to be honest with you guys, than making more videos. But this won't pay the bills, I don't think. People have told me other content creators pay the bills with live streams. For me, it's like I'll do a live stream and make, you know, $10, which you can't live on $10 a day where I live, unfortunately. But I'd love to do more of these if you guys like them. So, all right. Insert an M3. That's a little inside baseball for you guys. M3 by 10. M3 not into the bottom channel. Okay. Attach the foot, align, and it's looking like, I mean, we're most of the way there, guys. Is this a foot? No. Why do I feel like, okay, I was gonna say, why do I feel like I don't have the foot? But it's because I was looking at the wrong color. Do I sell the printers I don't want to keep? Yeah, I do. Sometimes most of the time I sell them for nothing, especially if it's like, you know, someone buying it for their kid, or a lot of times, like, I have a friend here who does a lot of teaching, and he'll take them to schools and teach kids. So I'll usually sell them for, you know, $50 or something just to get them out of here. And it does cover, it helps cover, you know, especially if I've done a review on the video and couldn't take a sponsor for that review, it helps pay for the cost of producing the videos. But yeah, I sell them. Our Patreon supporters get a spreadsheet, I just put this up, of all the printers I've ever owned, what I thought about them, what I did with them, if I kept them or sold them, and why, and like most up to date. Because sometimes after a review, I'll have problems, which reminds me I need to update the spreadsheet because I had a problem with a printer today. Another hardware failure. But yeah. Okay, foot attached. But yeah, that's a Patreon perk if you want to check it out. M5x30. What about the M5x30 screw and nut? We'll use these later in the final assembly steps. So what? I don't put them in now, or I do? I guess I could just put them in and they'll be there. You know? And then I'll have to find them again later. M5x30. It's nice of you, and it gets more people exposed. Totally. Julie is definitely gunning for most valued participant, MVP of this stream, because she attended many hours of the previous stream and keeps me company when all the rest of the people are very quiet. M3 nut, I don't think it's supposed to be a nylock. So thank you, Julie, for keeping me company. It is much appreciated. Okay, maybe I don't put, it says final assembly steps. I don't want to do a nylock nut before. Why did the ERCF MMU go to school? Because it wanted to learn about multi-filamentary education. I don't get that. But okay. All right, here's the selector. It's so badass looking. Don't look at the exploded view. It just overwhelms you. Remove the built-in supports. Look at this gorgeous piece printed in Polymaker ASA. Da-na-na. Julie can multitask. That is because you are a female. If being married has taught me anything, not to gender stereotype, but women are much better at multitasking than men. For sure. I heard a stand-up comedian once say that. I didn't believe it was true until I got married. All right, remove the built-in supports. That was extraordinarily satisfying. And that was reasonably satisfying. Now, a trick, as soon as you take things off that are trash, throw them away to the trash so they don't clutter your workspace, but also so you don't confuse them when you're looking for a printed part. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right. Hi, Ritesh. Welcome. Okay. Oh, there's a third. And then there were three. I love how these built-in supports, I'm going to film this, and I can get you guys a close-up. It's so clever how the built-in supports, they leave a little notch so you can get in there and pry it away. Very smart. Let's do that without injuring ourselves. Oh, so freaking satisfying. If you're running a Prusa machine, then why not do a Prusa MMU? But you're writing the code yourself, so it sounds like you're not running it on a Prusa. Prusa. Okay, let's get some bearings in. Use a soft jaw vise or a flat object. And let's get some bearings. Now I'm regretting. What printer are you running it on? I mean, if you can write the software yourself, great. I've heard that Happy Hair is next level. Like, amazing interface and just wonderful. And so why not, you know? Oh, dude. Yeah, why do a Prusa MMU for the SV07 Plus? That runs Clipper. You can run this thing on there. Oh, it communicates wirelessly. That's kind of cool. But you could have done this. And you wouldn't. You would use Happy Hair software. I don't know. That sounds regrettable. You could sell it, probably. I'm going to sell my ERCF V1. Okay, this definitely is going to take something strong. I think we should do it like this. Maybe not. I don't want to damage these bearings. Using those snips like that. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for looking out, Julie. Okay, let's see if we can do this without damaging things. Work our way around. This is a very tight fit. And I really don't want to damage the bearing. So we're just going to take our time here. Yeah, try the ERCF. Why reinvent the wheel, right? There's a link in the description if you want to support the channel. Don't feel obligated. But the other thing is, for the same price, I think this kit's like $180 or something with the 12 color. That's like 30 bucks more than a 4 color or 5 color MMU3. I'm so nervous that I'm damaging this bearing. I don't like this at all. Let me get a piece of wood. Something soft. All right. There's another trick / tip for you. Wood is softer than steel. If you want to not damage steel, but you still want to whack the shit out of it, use a piece of wood. Headphone warning. See? Wood is softer than steel. A little deformation maybe on the sides, but overall, $180. Yeah, I think it's $180. Check the link in the description and let me know. This kit is $185.99. Thank you, Julie. Seriously, Julie, MVP. Yeah, $185. That's wild. It doesn't include printed parts, which is probably another, probably 40 or 50 bucks worth of filament, I'd say, because it's almost 2 kilos. Headphone warning. Boy, that's a tight fit. But it's flush. No damage to anything. Almost like I know what I'm doing. Okay. Heat set inserts. Who's ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? So, 1, 2, 3. Let's do it. SV08 is arriving today. That's awesome. Oh, wow, you're going to do an ERCF on it? That's great. Servo is developing a multicolor system, but amazing. Make sure that just spend some time on the SV08, enjoy it the way that it is, and get your print profiles. Like, get familiar with the machine before you do this, I think, because this is a whole different can of worms, you know? And, like, you don't want to compound the challenges. By the way, how are you going to handle the... are you going to just replace the tool head with a stealth burner so you can do a filament cutter? Or are you going to ignore it and do tip tuning? But you'll probably be the first person to do a ERCF on a Sol SV08. So that'll be cool. You should document it for posterity. make sure. Don't touch the heat set inserts after you've put them in. I mean, I know that, but I was just handling the part and not paying attention. There you go. Someone was asking if I really could do this without an Uncle Jesse moment. There's your Uncle Jesse moment. That's smarts. But I love doing heat set inserts. I just love it. It makes me so happy. Let me get some quick B-roll here because I'm not filming anything and I'm going to regret it later. So now you guys can watch how the sausage gets made. So you take the camera, you put it on a video tripod, and then you shoot video. Like this. Typically, you don't shoot into the light, but it is what it is. All right. Another heat set insert? Yes. Really? This heat set insert is a tricky one. Okay, let's turn the soldering iron back on. Take your time. It may help to use a screw to pull from the opposite side. If you wind up melting the spring hole, either reprint the piece and try again or clean up the hole with a drill bit. Well, I'm not going to F around. I know better. I know better. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. First off, we're going to heat this a little more. Like to 400. Okay. Then we're going to get a shorter screw. Then we're going to heat it as much as we need to. Yeah, messy workspace indeed. I don't think there's a way to do this without it being messy. I mean, even I've got everything in the bags and organized over there, and still, you know, it's just a messy process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to superheat this heat set insert, and then I'm just going to slide it onto that M3. My watch is like, time to stand. What do you think I've been doing all day today? Okay. Now we're going to screw the M3 on, capture the heat set insert. That didn't work at all. And now I'm just damaging the hole. Great. Awesome. Let's just force it through. That worked even better. All right. Servo SV07 Plus or Elegoo Nap2. I've never actually tried a single Elegoo printer, so I don't know. I like my Servo SV07 Plus a lot. I hear people really love their Elegoo printers as well. This isn't what I need. Is that an accent? No. Drag. Is this it? Yep. All right, now we're in the thick of heat set insert time. That's nice. Let's put this away. Let's do some heat set inserts. I have one SV07 Plus. Yeah, I have one too. I like mine. I have a video coming out this week about which printers I use and how much I use them and how much I like them and why. Okay, let's bring down our temp. All 12 are installed. Yeah, we've moved quite a bit. I'm going for broke here, man. Okay. Thanks for the feedback. My pleasure. All right, let's turn off our soldering iron. This goes into this. I really need to get more footage though, guys. Magic. M3 by 8. It's not magic, it's engineering, which is like magic. Engineering is applied magic. I think I've heard that before, though. I don't think I just came up with that. Slide the drag chain anchor into the dovetail groove. Oh, I already did that. Add a drop of CA glue and insert the 3x2 magnet into its slot. Okay, now I remember saying I'm going to put that somewhere where I won't lose it. Where was that somewhere? On the motor. Found it. Everything is such a snug fit, yeah. Well, that really depends on the printer you're using and the calibration and everything. But yeah, it should be a perfect fit. I'm back after 6 hours. What did I miss? Look at this. Wait. Overhead? You missed all this, man. All right, let's get some CA glue. My favorite, not favorite thing in the world. Where are them pliers? Because we're doing it this way. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, a lot of progress, a lot of work. Very grateful that my kids' grandma can be with them right now, so I can continue the progress and not give up. All right, now servo mount. MG90, it says on it. This would appear to be a totally different part, right? Yeah. Well, news for you guys. I don't think I have that part, or do I? Yeah, I do. Okay, remove. Those already came off on the build plate. Remove. Doesn't exist. Servo mount print in place supports. I don't have them, so great. Servo mount. Use a small tool. I don't have supports. The full plan is SV08 with ERCF running an Octopus Pro, BTT Pi 2 with a stealth burner with a BT. Wow, that's a lot of action. How hard is this build? So far, reasonably hard, but not super hard. Yeah, the ERCF will be the biggest headache for you, Bart, because the SV08 is fully built, you know? Okay, we're using an MG90S. I did print all the parts myself. They are Polymaker ASA. And some parts coming up later are Bamboo Lab and Polymaker polycarbonate. It's about 2 kilos of filament. This says Sabox, but there should be an MG90 mount as well. Yep. Which means this is unnecessary. And here we do have the supports that we need to remove. So I see what it was on about. Let's get a chair and remove some supports. All right. Remove. Wow, that ain't easy. Are those really supports? They don't want to come out like supports. They're taking the whole part with them. Yeah, that I'm pretty sure just broke the whole part. Right after work, I'm going to get started on my enclosure. Nice. That's awesome. Which one are you going to build? Are you going to do a DIY or a LAC? Now, I just broke this part, but I think we can weld it back together. Does anyone have any advice on fixing customer returns 3D printers? I'm thinking of doing it for the first time. I don't know how much money there is in it, because 3D printers are so cheap, you know? It might be worth it for the customer to just buy a new one. Depends how much you value your time. But when a new 3D printer is $199, how much are they going to pay to fix an old one? This is a trick, by the way. You can weld together 3D printed parts with a soldering iron if it's a minor break, and then you don't have to reprint them. Save the planet. Doesn't look pretty, but there we go. All right, where are we at? MG90S mounts on here. Yep. Which means it needs to go this way, like that. Ooh, that's a nice fit. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right. Now we need the servo screws that came with the servo, which are right here. Ah, cool. All right. Great. I don't have a Phillips head here. I don't want to get up. Is there a difference between ABS and ASA? For this purpose, no. Most people who use ASA just like it more because it warps less, can be easier to print, and has fewer fumes. If your printer is going to be outdoors a lot, then it'll make a difference. But yeah, no. This ASA is just kind of like upgraded ABS, but ABS is perfect for this. That's actually what's recommended. If any of the other buy a pallet repair channels are correct, half of them are probably working. So even if you're not correctly inclined, yeah, maybe. Be careful with electronics. On mine, I'm rerouting airflow. Yeah, ABS is actually what's recommended for voron builds. So you are right as rain. Beautiful. It's amazing to me that something with this many mechanical parts works. Not just that someone can design it, but that it actually works. Okay, we need that spring, which I saw somewhere. Here it is. I've actually spent a lot less time than I normally do finding parts, and I think it's just because I've done so many of these types of builds that I've gotten really good at like putting everything back in the box, throwing away all the spare bags so you don't have to look through them again. Like, I've learned the hard way a lot of these little tips and tricks that I'm sharing with you guys. What color should that cap be? Notice that on the guide it says if it's not A, then it's going to be black, so you know what color you're looking for. And you find it immediately. Selector spring cap. Okay. Spring goes here into this. Yeah, if you have a good enclosure and ventilation, then you'll have no worries. Insert the spring and cap into the hole. So, okay. Spring, cap, hole. Interesting that they had me put a heat set insert there if it's going to be capped. Oh, so you can tension it. That is very clever. What enclosure temp is needed for ABS? Ideally, you want 40 degrees Celsius or higher. You can do with less if you don't have drafts, but yeah, you want 40 if you can get it. Angle the servo mount. Insert it into the captive channel. Turn it so it's facing the same way. Let's show you guys what we're up to. I wish there were more light from here. But that's just terrible. That's a little bit better. Okay, install the servo mount. So we want the servo like this. And then it should latch into here. Right? And then it should click down, but it's not actually going in all the way. Okay. Nice. And then we need an M3 by 20. Is this 20, do we think? It looks pretty close. But I'm not sure, so. Saludos de Mexico. Salud. M3 by 20. M5. M2 by 16. M3 by 16, M3 by 3. This is 12. This is a drinking straw. Okay. Let's clean our workspace up a little bit so we can find things. M3 by 25. M3 by 16. Let's just measure these. I think one of them is probably 20. Where's the caliper? Adjustable speed inline 4 duct blower fan. Fancy. That is 15. We need 20. M3 by 16, M3 by 8, M3 by 3. You notice how now that I said, oh, I haven't spent that much time searching for stuff. Yeah, now I'm spending time searching for stuff. Here's the M3 by 20 though. Okay. camera battery's dying again. All right. M3 by 20. Yeah, that's true. You don't want to overheat the electronics. But honestly, I had 2 printers in an enclosure. I built all this ventilation and stuff, but it never got up to like beyond 35. And I never had problems. Prusa in their print farm runs their printers all the time and the ambient temperature in the room is 35 or so. You shouldn't have issues. I don't think if you build a reasonable size enclosure, you're going to get it above 35 with just the bed heater. If it's very small and you're running long ABS prints for days, yeah. But I don't think you'll have problems. This M3 by 20 just cut through the other side, but I guess that's okay. Oh, and it says temporarily secure it with a screw. Well, there's nothing temporary about that, but I guess we'll see. Tension screw installation. That's an M3 by 12, which I saw recently. 16, 16, 8, 12. Only tighten until it touches the cap. That's that. Servo wires. So now we got to run these wires out here. Secure them using a zip tie. Zip tie. Make sure they lie flat. Zippity-doo. Beautiful. All right. Oh my, don't look at exploded views. Too overwhelming. Install encoder wheel. Slotted wheel push tool. Here's the slotted wheel. I don't know if this is the push tool or not. It doesn't look like it. This is the push tool. It's almost like I have a trick for remembering which part I printed and which I didn't of the 200 plus pieces. All right. Encoded slaughter wheel. BMG idler gear. I knew that I had an extra somewhere. All right, let's read. Before fitting encoder slotted wheel to the Bondtech gear, make sure the top surface of the... Okay, I don't think this is the gear. These are not the droids that you're looking for. And is this supposed to be one with the grub screw or not? D. Without set screw. They thought of everything. Now, where did I put that extra? I'm pretty sure it dropped to the floor. Please allow me a moment to go find it. I'm taking the light with me. Ugh. Where are you? Hello? Where are you, little buddy? I'm not gonna hurt you. Gotcha. I'm totally gonna hurt him. Just kidding. All right. I don't think we need this light right now. All right, so we're going to need to do some threaded inserts. So while we heat up the iron, make sure the top surface of the wheel and its vanes are smooth and clean. I mean, they're textured, but they look pretty clean. If there are blobs from printing, sand them or trim them so they are flush. Looks pretty good to me. Now we have to take this gear, to jam this thing on there, and there's a tool to do this. Hey Nathaniel. And then you just kind of push it through. And they say to use a hammer. That is not easy. But look at that. Once you get it, beautiful. Is it straight? I'm not sure. I love the 3D printed tools. You just use them once, but they make the job easy. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay, let's do some heat set inserts and get rid of this tool. So now, this seems to be the part that we need, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Heat set inserts. I'm going to get another battery for this camera here. Everything within reach. Even the charger. Now we gotta load up this thing again. And now you guys can see what I'm doing. But you can't see if I put my fat fingers in the way. Maybe. Who loves doing heat set inserts? Let me know in the chat. I find it to be one of the most satisfying activities in the whole hobby. Possibly in life. Okay, do we need any more inserts before I turn off the iron? No. I know it's not efficient to keep turning the iron on and off, but I made a decision in the last one that it would be super boring for people to watch just an hour and a half of me doing heat set inserts. So I'm doing it all in pieces. All right. Now we need some other part called encoder left. We're starting to run out of parts, which I'm thrilled about. That appears to be this. It says 24 volt instead of 23 volt, but great. That's this. Let me take you guys to the overhead. Okay. Overhead or close-up? What do you guys prefer? Here's the close-up, which I can go back. And now we need to do the Binky PCB, which is somewhere. All the PCBs do appear to be here or here. Binky ERCF. Okay, assembly. Start by fitting the metal rod into the encoder right. Ah, so those weren't extra, and I'm very glad I didn't get rid of them. Okay. Into the encoder right. Okay. Cool. Next, slide on the needle bearings. Is that all the way in? A little tap of the hammer wouldn't hurt. Ooh, I like that. That is very secure. Next, slide on the needle bearings and the Bondtech idler gear. This is still very hot. Little grease. Greased up deaf guy. Okay. Great. Ooh, where's my chair? How many people are actually tuned in now? Let's see. 41. Hey, that's not bad. I'll take it. Okay, now we need to slide this little encoder here. Oh, I should probably be able to see what I'm filming. Someone's ringing my doorbell. Hang on. Who is ringing my doorbell? I might need to take the overhead camera and figure it out. Doorbell. Bad news, friends. This thing doesn't fit. Like, not even a little. Oh, it will, though. No one there anymore. Let's check the other security cameras. See if maybe someone came to visit. Ah, it's my wife. Okay. Cool. Oi. Oi. All right. The slotted wheel should sit almost flush with the housing, but make sure it doesn't rub on the printed part. Well, yeah, so that's the thing. How do I actually get it to go? Oh, well, there you go. But it just bent the encoder. That doesn't look good. Now let's bend it back. So the idea is this connects, I mean, the PCB detects light coming through or not coming through. I mean, it's barely clearing, but okay, there is a break. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a break. Okay, Binky PCB with an M2x8 or 10. Sensor should fit snugly. This is what stopped me from getting the other one done. I broke the PCB on the V1. I eventually ordered a new one and got it. I never installed it because then V2 came out. I said, why bother? If you're just going to replace it. Okay, let's see if I can break this PCB too. It's only 2 weeks to get a new one. Okay, look at that, how perfect the little notches are. Just stunning, the design. The attention to detail. And there's an infrared LED here as well. I think it's infrared. Maybe it's just red. But my gosh, attention to detail. 3 little holes. Focus, camera. 3 little holes. Dude, focus. Well, you'll take my word for it, right? 3 little holes right there to match up to the PCB. Unreal. Yeah, maybe I'll live stream because I think I'm going to need help, so probably I'll live stream. Look at that. That goes, hugs the encoder wheel. So genius. And then measures light coming through. Just next level. Whoever designs this stuff, like, I want to be like you when I grow up. It's amazing to me that all this stuff works as well as it does and that it's so well designed. M3x8? No, M2x8 self-tapping. That's M1.5. M2x6 self-tapping, but there should be an 8 or a 10. Let's move this out of the way. M2x10 self-tapping. So for those who are just joining us, I did just announce that I'm going to be doing a build of an SV08 tool changer, probably 7 tool head, based on the SV08. If you guys want me to live stream it, the best way to ensure that I live stream stuff is to reward the live streams by liking them, subscribing, joining the membership from the live stream, or sending super thanks. That is the best way to tell me, hey, you guys appreciate live streams and not just a summary video when I'm done with the whole project. And yeah, I agree, Bart. I mean, I like it for certain things, you know. It's a different market, it's a different printer when you print your own parts. It's a different game. Different consumer. All right, now we got the encoder right and the encoder left. Is this the one? Yeah, look at that. You see that little fancy pants? I really need more light on this side. I don't really want to run cables. I have so many cables running here already. Oh, hey, look what I found. You little bastard. I was looking for you before. You can just put that right there. See? And now we have more light. Yay. Are they all going to have Revo mod? I don't know, actually. I think I'll do some of them Revo. And no, they're going to be custom tool heads from scratch. I'm building Nadir's tool heads, which are much smaller, which is why you can fit 7 of them. But some of them will be Revo. Maybe I'll get some Fadis. I don't know. We'll see. Let's film this. Okay. Now, let's connect it all up. So we got this thing, ERCF. We got this thing, which says 23V on it. That goes like this. I should zoom out so you guys can see. Normally, I don't live stream long builds, but if you guys like it, and again, if it can be good for the channel, I'll do it. I don't mind. Generally, I kind of assume that people just want to see the end summary, you know, the story, and me kind of explaining what I think about it. But if you guys like live streams, I can live stream. Maybe not in the most comfortable hours for the Americans, but I can do it. M3x20, the whole bag was right here. There it is. M3x20, 2 of them, and M3x8. Encoder right. So there's going to be 1, 2 320s. Wait, what? Nozzle was falling out printing PETG. On what printer? I didn't have... did I print PETG on the SV08? I don't think I even had a chance. I started modding it so quickly. Let me know if you guys want to see the overhead view. I just figured for this tiny stuff, you would appreciate getting up close and personal. I think the people who watch the long form videos are different than the people who watch the live streams. The nozzle coming apart on the SV08, like it just falls off. I was against that nozzle. That was my biggest complaint with the whole printer, to be fair. And that's why I immediately swapped it. I ended up breaking it, but I do not like Sovol's proprietary nozzle BS. And I told them as much. Like, I'm on the record as having been against that nozzle. I still don't like it, even though they sent me a bunch of replacements and sizes and all that. I don't want proprietary nozzles. I want a V6 or a Volcano. Or maybe a Revo, you know? I'm cool with Revo, too, because I got a lot of them. It's a big enough issue that Sovo made a statement on their Facebook and they're redesigning it. Wow. That's crazy. I would think it's just 2 M2.5 screws. Put some thread locker, it should solve the problem, but I did not have that issue. Again, this is one of those things and why I'm now, to our Patreon members, publishing like a up-to-date list. Because, you know, when I publish a review, and this is what I'm saying in that new video that's coming out later this week, when I publish a review, I'm lucky if I've gotten 40 or 50 hours on a printer. That's nothing. And then I may not have like profiles. Like when I tested the SV08, there was only a PLA profile available, you know? So reviews, you know, are not the most updated. The actual nozzle comes out. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you could just do the Revo adapter that I designed. I still think the SV08's a good printer, but yeah, you got to swap the hot end. And that's why I made a Revo adapter that you can order on PCBWay for like 40 bucks, and then you can just put a Revo on there. Okay, insert the ECEES whatever Bowden adapter. Are you guys happy with this angle, by the way? I think the best way to think about the SV08 is it's a good platform. People are like, oh, for $600, you know, I shouldn't have to swap parts and upgrade things and tweak it. I'm like, where are you living? Because it's a 350 by 350 printer that costs half as much as an X1 Carbon. You know, if you look on my videos, you'll see there's a video called I upgraded the SV08 till it broke. Look in the description. There's a link to PCBWay. You order that. You order a 60-watt Revo kit, and you're good to go. It's not plug and play. You'll have to crimp connectors, but that's no big deal. It sounds like you're more than capable. All right, here's that V63 bearing. By the way, I don't know if you guys know, I'm not actually reading most of the time. Like, because I'm so busy talking, it's really hard to read. It's a starting point of a voron, and it's going to need upgrades and mods. I disagree. Like, I mean, unless you consider a screen an upgrade and mod. The printer works fine out of the box. It's just, it could be so much better for what it is and the hardware that it has. But I think it works great out of the box. But yeah, it's the best value proposition, and the way to look at it is it's an amazing platform for making your perfect printer. I don't think it needs it, except for the Z offset thing. And maybe it sounds like the nozzle. M3 by 20. Wow, that is a long way to screw it in. Yeah, it's not a voron. Just because it uses so many proprietary parts, it's not a voron. But I think it, for many people, it will make them no longer need to build a voron. It's made me not want to bother building another voron. I was going to build another one just to have another big printer. I was like, I don't need one now. I'm good. I'm also hopefully going to get a rat rig. Okay, at this point, we want to do what? Am I recording that? Okay. At this point, it says do something to check that something works. Oh, slide filament through. All right. Let's slide filament through to verify everything runs smoothly and the slotted wheel doesn't rub on the encoder. Sick. It goes through. I can feel the gears turning. When you pinch it, it stops. There's a fair bit of resistance, but that might be because this filament has markings on it. All right. Let's go to the next part. M3 by 20 screws on both sides. Okay. Who's having fun? Say I. Or just say I'm having fun. Talk to me. Now we gotta fix this camera. There we go. All right. This guy needs to get attached to here like this, but that's not right. Oh, this was supposed to be temporary. They did say that it was supposed to be temporary, and it does say right there, remove. Aye. Aye. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stream. The second stream of the day. This time, thank God, monetized. Silly me. Does it show you guys ads while I'm live streaming? Is that how the monetization works? M3 by 20. Selector cart. $90 for the adapter? It should not be that expensive. Is that with shipping? It should be 40 bucks. Yeah, that's too expensive. E3D, I open sourced it. It's completely open source, so you can try a local seller. No ads. And yeah, I use YouTube Premium too. It's open source. Make your own. 90 bucks is crazy, but I mean, they do have to ship it from China, so I get that. I'm hoping that someone like E3D or, oh wow, thank you. Really appreciate it, Sindra. The super chats really help convince me to do more of these. I'm hoping that Big Tree Tech or E3D is just going to make one, like mass manufacture them and then sell them with Revo kits. So that might happen if you wait, because 90 bucks is too much. That's more than the E3D kit itself, I think. Okay, that part's done. We good? All right, now we need to do another magnet. Guys, we're making some serious progress. Granted, we need to do the we need to do 12 filament buffers, but I think we're making good progress. Now, where's that door? Look how pretty. Wait. I hope I can rub this off with some alcohol. Okay, now where's that magnet? There you are. So that needs to go like that. 117 with shipping. I'll have a talk with them. That is crazy. When I priced it out, it was $42, which is reasonable, and then it was like 18 shipping. Still expensive, but that's the price of being an early adopter. But yeah, 92 bucks is crazy. I will message my rep there and see what the deal is and why that is. Ah, you don't see what I'm doing. Just getting the magnet in with some CA glue, making sure that it is polarized correctly. I mean, attention to detail much. Look at that. Magnetized door. Seriously? Like, so unnecessary, so cool. 1.75 millimeter filament. Okay. Accent filament and trim to length. Let me go get some accent filament. Where is it? Not there. Not here. Not anywhere. Gotcha. Let me just check what's going on at home. Oh, they doubled the price because it's difficult to make. I'll talk with them and see. Okay. So this is the filament I used, should anyone ask. Polymaker Polylite ASA. Same one I've used on 2 different voron builds. Pretty sure it's the same one that's used on my LDO positron. I love it. I love the color. I love that it's easy to print. I think I'm going to do one side here, one side there. Doesn't really want to go through. It should go through. Tell you what, let's cut the tip, make it sharp, see if it goes through. That's actually not a bad angle. The overhead is maybe a little overrated. Okay, I'm using 2 different pieces. Good enough. I can always replace it if I have to. Fancy. Look at that. Focus is just not with me. Pretty good. The main camera view isn't bad at all if I keep the workspace reasonable. Like, you can still see what I'm doing, but it's easier to see my guide. Oh, all you guys see now is the hammer. There. That's a little too cropped. We'll let you know for sure. There we go. Hey, Iconic Fab, welcome. Welcome to the jungle. Let's save the battery on this light for now. And let's continue. Tensioner installation. Okay, belt tensioner. Let's find it. Again, we still have to build 12 entire filament buffers. And we're not even close to done this thing, but we are making good progress. Where's the belt tensioner? Should get some of this trash out of here. Oh, you guys don't see anything. Workspace looks a bit like a jungle. This is actually pretty good, I think. Could be worse, right? This is kind of how I roll. Like this is clean for me. Let's get rid of all these trash parts, and maybe I will be able to find the belt tensioner. So far, I don't see it. But I think I'm looking for the wrong color. Yeah, I have 2 of these, and I put on the not nice one, but that's fine. Belt tensioner, where are you? Well, I don't see it. I think I might just print one. Unless it turns up in the next second. Is that it? Yeah, found it. Super chat. Thank you very much, Kostas. I really appreciate the donations, guys. Helps make up for the fact that I'm doing this instead of a video this week. That's not what mine looks like. Oh, yes, it is. Okay. What? How is filament shredder going? No progress. I'm waiting months for a industrial strength coupler. I ordered a bunch of parts, like both sides and the spider in the middle for the coupler, and everything was in stock. And then they got back to me, and no one has the one that I need in stock. So I ended up like I can't go another way because I have already 2 out of the 3 parts that I need. And basically I'm stuck waiting for these dumb industrial companies that have no sense of urgency whatsoever to ship me a coupler that takes apparently months to manufacture. So the whole thing is just completely on hold, unfortunately, which sucks. I think that was 20, what I just put in there. I hope it was. Probably was. It was. Okay, don't forget Granny Pride Megaphone Rainbow Handle. No idea what that means. The first 3D printer was invented in 1986 by Chuck Hull, who called the process stereolithography. Fun facts are fun. Don't look at exploded views. Remember, that's our rule because they just overwhelm the shit out of you. Heat set inserts. Let's heat this bad boy up. Away from the CA glue. All right. So I guess this thing's done. I hear the complaints about the workspace, so while it heats up, let's tidy a little bit. Okay, are you guys happy? I respond well to bribery. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Great. All this I'm going to leave displayed so I can find things easily. Need to fix my straw because we used it as a tool. I think it's going to take some time. We don't have time. I'm perennially in fear that I'm going to have to print parts. Not that I don't have a dozen printers and tons of filament, but I don't want to stop what I'm doing. That is not that. This isn't where I parked my car. I have news for you guys. I think we finally, after 12 hours or so of streaming. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I don't like exploded views. They overwhelm me. I need this step by step. I think we finally found a part that I forgot to print. Maybe. Maybe. Ah, it's an accent. I was looking at the wrong color parts. Yep. So far, I have not forgotten to print any parts. It's almost like I've done this a few times. And I've had extras every time a part got damaged. I'm very pleased with myself about that, by the way. Okay, let's get all the inserts out that we're going to need. Let's do some heat set inserts. Note the smiley. Very nice. Nice little smiley on the part. I do love doing a heat set insert. It's kind of my favorite. It's 2. These parts don't look that nice, but it's fine. Now we need to do that. Okay. Oh, get in there, sneaky boy. Hey, we got a runner. Okay. Are you guys happy with the overhead view, or should I switch to the other camera? I want to keep the peanut gallery happy. Beauty. Cool. You guys are easy to please with the overhead view. It's just an iPhone. All right. There's all of that. Now we need some M3x8s. Do we need the soldering iron again? No. Ah, exploded view. Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. No. Make it go away. I don't like the exploded view. It makes me scared. So scared. That goes like that. That goes like that. Make sure the heat set inserts aren't hot anymore before I touch them this time. We need to plug in the iPhone. It's dying. I should really route a cable from the ceiling. I actually have a charger up there. Just need to route a ceiling cable. I used to have one. Get out of here. I like watching people work. Yeah, it's true. I don't watch a lot of live streams, but I watch a lot of woodworking content where they're just working. I put on Blacktail Studio in the background and then just watch him make beautiful artwork that he sells for $30,000. All right, you're fully charged. My phone is not. That just messed up my camera angle, didn't it? There. Okay. And yes, there's a cable dangling where we can fix it a little bit, but not much. Hang on. Get over here. Tie wraps. All the things. His work is amazing. Yeah. Did you see that Morley Kurt got to hang out with him? And also Scott Ujan. Super jealous. Okay. Now the cable's at least out of my face. Okay. So we need the motor lock, which is A. We're now at the point where I can just tilt the box across. Keep in mind, again, I want to remind you all, it looks like we're so far along. We still have to build 12 buffers. There's the motor lock. This is spare. We don't need this. This is trash. Motor lock. Here you are. I just got into the channel Inheritance Machining. I haven't heard of that one. All right. Now there's that motor that was the wrong motor before. And now it's the right motor. M3x8. Slide that bugger on there like this. Cables pointing out. Almost. And why do we need the motor lock? What does the motor lock do? What do you do, motor lock? Do you just go in here and look pretty? Would appear so, but why isn't the motor going all the way in? It's like 0.5 millimeter. What other YouTube channels do you guys like? I mean, I can actually look in my analytics and see what channels you guys watch besides me, but tell me anyway. Entertain me. Okay, motor lock. Motor lock. Get in there. Oh, buggeroo. Lock that motor. Yeah, see, this thing isn't all the way in. It's a stretch. That's not good. It's not straight. It's not in all the way. Maybe if we loosen this guy. LTT. I don't actually watch LTT, despite the fact that I parted with $95 to have the screwdriver. I don't actually watch LTT. I find it too techy. I can't see individually what each one of you watch, but I can see other channels that you guys watch and the most popular channels that you guys see. Guys, this isn't fitting. I knew it wasn't gonna. But it's like really not fitting. That one fits. Non-3D printing is a lot of machining, smithing, and woodworking. I watched the woodworking. I didn't get it. I never got into the machining stuff. You know what? I know this isn't a great idea, but a little percussive force might just get this in place because it's only one side that's not fitting. That did nothing. 3D printing and CNC. Cool. Still not straight. Problem is when I sit, I lose circulation to my arms because they're above my heart. Does the chair go higher? It does not. As always, whenever I have a problem, PCBWay to the rescue. This stream is not sponsored, but PCBWay always solves my problems when I break things. I just order new ones from PCBWay. This time it's their pillow, which will raise me up a little bit. Check the inside for boogers. Whatever was in there, it's no longer. This one is a bit of a problem, but I think if I go in at a slight angle, yeah. I heard a snap. I had a customer come in a year ago with a 3D printer and ask if I could fix it for him. Never seen one in person prior to that. Wow. And now you're building multi-material systems. Funny how that works, huh? This hobby like grabs you and it just becomes an obsession. All I want to do is just print stuff and like sometimes see my kids. Just saw the new printer from Prusa. Wait, what? There's a new printer from Prusa? Hold the frickin' phones. My entire stream is Israel hate. Let's look at Prusa. What? Where? Joe hasn't posted about it. Prusa 2024, that's old news. I don't see anything about it. Prusa HT90. Oh, dude, this is old news. It's an industrial one, right? Yeah, this is super old news, dude. Super old news, right? This came out like months ago. This is from their purchase of Trilab, I think it was called. That's old news. I thought there was a new Prusa consumer printer. I got very excited, but I don't think we're going to see a new printer from Prusa for a long time. All right, linear axis guide. Look how many parts we have. Not a lot left, guys. Linear axis guide. Okay, that's the exploded view. M5 by 16 with this idler pulley. This little skinny baby. Okay, get that in there. M5 nylock. I'm starting to get real hungry, so I might have to at some point actually go and feed myself again. I ate lunch at this table. Only another 9,000 parts and I'm done. It's not that many. There's probably like 30, 40 parts left. It seems like a lot of the like LED and light stuff has to get done. The big thing I'm thinking about is the buffers. That is, as you might be able to see off camera. Well, you can't see what's off camera, but there's a lot there. But they might be very simple to assemble. All right, M5 by what? M5 by 16. I think there's one, and it's here. That is correct. So far, respect to FYSETC, they've given everything perfectly labeled in the exact right quantities, except for the fluids, which I think has to do with just customs and regulation and not being able to actually ship super glue and stuff. That doesn't make contact. The reason I love these dedicated hex drivers is like I don't want to switch the entire bit on my LTT screwdriver for one M5 that I'm going to do. And yeah, the voron inspired manuals are indeed awesome. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful motion, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Now is when we get everything put together. That must be an exploded view because it makes me very overwhelmed and unhappy. Nope, that's actually what I need to do. Okay, great. I don't like too many graphics on one screen. Okay, bearing preparation. If using LM8 something bearings, lightly grease them. Yeah, baby. We're almost done the ERCF, guys. Then we have to use put all these. I have 12 of these little polycarbonate effers that we need to kind of figure out where they go. But shout out to Prusa Research Lubricant. I had to use thread locker fluid on the build for nuts. That was an M5. I did use thread locker, yeah, on the grub screws. Okay, super lube. Great. I don't know what kind of bearings I used, so I just greased them anyway. Don't fully slide the rods on the motor side for now. Set them in a central position and just get the two M3 by 12 screws to contact. Okay. That's this side. Yeah, motor side. Makes sense. Now we take these rods, which I hopefully haven't damaged. Question for everyone in EU land. What is your favorite 3D printed parts shop? Cheap and does the job. All right. That's in. It did say don't fully insert. But I mean, I'm inserting them. I don't want them to fall out while I'm working. Okay, that's one side. Now we got to get this little bugger. I want to force this in and get the lube to go through. Oh, so freaking satisfying. All the lube came off. That's cool. That is totally fine. I'm not mad. Oh, this moves so much better than the version 1. So much more gooder. And that's before we even put it on the... This is just a big improvement, I think. Idler side. Okay. Carefully insert the rods fully into the thing until they bottom out. Shoot some B-roll. Did my camera die? Yes. Yes, it did. Hello. Satisfying. Satisfying. What can I say? M3 by 12, and then we need a pulley. And we need to get this thing in. Oh boy, it's out. Okay, that side is bottomed out. This side is not, and everything is super greasy now. M3 by 12. Let's check what's going on with my kids and wife. M3 by 12. What up? Welcome. Thanks for joining the stream. The never-ending stream. This is stream number 2. Stream number 1 was 7 hours. Honestly, I don't live in the EU. I live in Israel, but I just order everything from AliExpress. I have a low time preference. I don't mind waiting for stuff. And I just, like, I don't know how it is in Europe, but here, something will cost like $50 on AliExpress 6. I just can't justify paying 9 times as much for the same thing when I know that they just buy it on Alibaba. So that's what it's like living in Israel. And I just order everything on AliExpress. And yeah, long day of streaming. This mount warped, I can see. I'm hoping it's not going to make a difference. I guess I'm going to put these screws all the way in. I'm kind of on a roll here. Like, if I can finish as much of this as possible, great. I should not have lubed up these rods. It's making it really a nightmare to handle this thing. I hope I do not live to regret what I'm about to do. Headphone warning. Yeah, you don't get industrial parts in singles. A lot of times the only choice is indeed direct from China. Greetings from USA. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. This is that weird one that doesn't fit anything. I think I used the wrong screw here, guys. In fact, I'm quite confident that I did. And now, how did I screw it in? Because it's not this driver. What did I do? It's none of these drivers, so, okay. Definitely the wrong screw. Which explains why it's not going in. Is it hot in Israel right now? Absolutely. No, that is a 12. It is quite hot, like 30s during the day. Sometimes hotter. Hottest June on record. I don't know about this. This part is warped, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good place for a part to be warped. Know what I'm saying? But it does say we will adjust soon. That 12 has a weird head. You got a weird head, dude. This one seems to also have a weird head. Which makes me wonder if that last one, I put the right screw or not. Yeah, I should use dry boxes, but I just dry my filament. Or I put them in bags. That helps. Humidity is a huge problem here. I basically don't buy or order or request from sponsors PETG ever anymore. I just can't use it. PETG is like literally unusable here. You can start a print. By the time the print is done, it's all string. Well, the motion is really nice. All the bearings on my voron corrode. Wow. I've never had that. Shout out to the homies at LDO. I've never had that. Idler side, carefully insert. Oh, I forgot to do this thing. GT2 pulley and snug the grub screw. We will adjust it soon. I always like to keep the parts oriented the same way that they show in the guide. Okay, so let's not tighten too much, but let's get it to stay. PETG isn't your friend. Yeah, I am going to get shirts made one day. God hates PETG. All right, belt installation. Who is excited? I'm a little excited. Install the pulley and run the belt clockwise from the selector cart. I mean, there's only one way to do this, right? You guys remember that quote from The Simpsons? There's 2 ways to do something, or 3 ways to do something. The right way, the wrong way, and my way. And then Bart goes, isn't that the same as the wrong way? And he goes, yes, but faster. Yeah, if you print PETG from a hotbox, you can print it in Israel, but otherwise, good luck. This belt seems a little too long. Like, how am I supposed to put it in if it's too long? Yeah, I don't know. Where am I supposed to put the slack for the belt? I guess I could just make it fold up, but I don't like that option. Thanks, the one. Appreciate that. They say leave an extra centimeter, but where am I supposed to put it? You know? Like, if this tensions the belt, where do they expect me to actually bury the extra? I've got nowhere for it to go. I guess I could just do that, force it to kind of bend. It's one way. Not a fan, but... Oh, you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Like, The belt is a little too long. I want to cut it, but it tells me not to. So I'm just jamming it in and letting the slack dangle out, but it's damaging the belt anyway. Oh, there we go. I stuffed some slack there. What time is it for me? It is 9:17. Or sorry, 7:17. I'm 10 hours ahead of California. I have no idea what this is, whatever you're talking about, Kavzalar. Overbuild, belted, AW. What's an overbuild? Whatever it is, it sounds insane. Okay. So we're honestly pretty much done with this. Like, we just have to connect them. Have I ever been to the US? Yeah, I actually grew up in the US for 24 years. My parents live in California. Keep the questions coming, though. It's a good way to entertain the stream. Okay, M5 locking nut. Fantastic. Doom Cube all-wheel drive, i.e. 4 motors. I don't know what a Doom Cube is, but I imagine it's a badass 3D printer, is what it sounds like. Nylock nut goes here. Did I try running my PETG in the microwave? That sounds a little sketchy, but no, I haven't. I actually have an inline filament dryer that I can just run materials through even when they're wet, and it just dries it in line. And then I have a ton of filament dryers that have been sent over the years. I just don't like having to pre-plan, and I honestly think PETG is just overrated. Like, even when it is dry and prints fine. Oh, son of a gun. I'm not reprinting it. Just for the record, not reprinting. We're going to weld that piece back together, but we're not reprinting it. Voron derivative. Okay, cool. Sounds fun. I am not reprinting these parts. Not happening. Ah, okay, cool. That sounds really cool. And it sounds really crazy. It's always amazing to me how many of these like offshoot projects there are. All right, another nylock. Let's see if I can break this one too. Where was this supposed to go? Oh, here. Yeah, it's not that reprinting the parts is so hard. It's that I have now spent so many hours assembling all this shit. I'm not redoing it. Like disassembling and reassembling. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. So you're just gonna have to go in, little guy, and not make a fuss. Oi! There's some sag on these parts, which is why they're not accepting the M5 so nicely. What's the warped part that cracked? This big, ginormous, like, hinge. Oh, just broke the other one. Well, that's two. I'm not reprinting it. It's not happening. But I will fix them. So here's how we're going to fix them. We're going to take a soldering iron and we're going to weld these parts back together. Nice and easy. See? Not as good as new, but saves a lot of time and effort. I can easily reprint it, but again, I've spent so many hours assembling and putting all this stuff together that I don't want to have to disassemble. It's a lot of disassembly. It's taking apart a ton of my work to swap one part, and I'm not willing to do it. I also think it's not going to matter that much. This is a hinge that you don't use very often. Welded, it'll be fine. It'll hold. I think these nylock nuts were not the exact same size, or this thing just got warped. Like, it's a big gap. It's a almost millimeter gap, which leads me to believe that these nylock nuts were a little bit big for my printed part, or my printed part shrunk a lot. But considering everything else has been bang on, I don't know, it could just be the spec of the nylock nut. It's really not a big deal. I'm not a perfectionist on projects that take this freaking long to do. CFPETG is much better, I agree. See? It's fine now. Break out the 3D pen. They can. I have one that will print ABS, but I think we're good. M5 by 30. This is the marriage of the two big pieces. Where is that M5 by 30? That's the one. You guys ready? Let's celebrate with a printer cam shot. Okay. Take this. Turn the light on because I'm going to record this. You use CFPETG when you want PETG, but rigid. A little bit more rigid and a little bit more heat resistant. Okay, ready? And here we go. Like that. Pop this thing on there. M5 by 30 does not seem like it would be long enough. But let's find out. Keep everything straight. Oh, these are going to break. The hinges are weak. I can just tell. They're going to break, and I'm going to end up reprinting this whole piece. I see it coming. This is the one that warped on the edges, so it's all a little out of whack. Yeah, I've been going for a while. Some say too long. You know, I've tried to get James on the podcast. He's just busy because he has a day job and YouTube. I've invited him. I will tell him that you requested his presence. You know, I took a little break to get my kids home from daycare. I'm enjoying the build still, so I'm going to keep going. But thanks for the concern. I do appreciate it. It's rare when, you know, grandma can be with the kids and I can focus on doing stuff like this, so I'm going to take advantage while I can. This is not straight. That somewhat concerns me. But where's that other M5 by 30? And we'll see if we can get it straight. I am so not disassembling and reprinting stuff. Like, you guys got to remember, for me, I can't do something if it's not content. The fact that I'm doing a live stream about this instead of a finished video is already like not good, you know? for the channel. So like dragging the project on when there's no sponsor for the project, like this isn't going to pay the bills. This is a labor of love for sure, and because you guys seem to enjoy it, and I will turn this into a video. So you notice I have cameras running and stuff like that. But yeah, I just can't afford to have projects drag on, especially because I have 3 projects off camera. And this is a much bigger project than it seems. Like, we still have to build the buffers. I really don't like how the angle of this is. We still have to build the buffers. We still have to rebuild the entire voron toolhead. It seems like it doesn't care that it's angled. Okay, idler adjustment. Use the 2 M3x16 screws on the linear axis stopper motor to finally adjust Why do I need to finally adjust? Feels fine to me. Let's latch this thing on. How do we do that? There's literally a diagram that says how to do it. There we go. That's one. Yeah, there's a lot of work here. A lot of work to be done. Great. I don't like that this doesn't sit straight. I'm not going to lie. NGO. But it really doesn't seem to disrupt the function. This touches, which I don't think it's supposed to. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt this thing down. We're going to see where we end up. But I think the whole thing needs to shift. Good. Thanks, Kazolar. Appreciate it. That didn't sound good. Okay. That's locked in. The motion is fine. I do think it would benefit from going that way, a couple of millimeters. Which makes me think that I used too long of screws here. Or I just need to back these screws out. That seems more likely. Oh boy. This is bundles of fun. It's like when you're so invested and you spent so much time building the thing, you're just terrified to break one piece because it'll mean taking apart everything. Please don't break. Please don't break. Why are you so hard to unlatch? Please don't break. You really can't break, okay? I'm going to unlatch you now. If you break, I'm going to say a lot of very nasty words. It's not unlatching, guys. It is really not unlatching. It's supposed to just unlatch. I am petrified of breaking this thing. Little damage, but I don't understand why it's so hard to unlatch. I mean, the latches are not hard to replace. They're only connected by one screw, so I'm not as worried about breaking that. This is weird, this whole angle thing, but let's push this in, back these out. Story of my life. You have like 10 printers, but most of them don't work. Well, I figured out why the angle problem. Oh, hello. It's straight. It's straight. It pivots. We're good. Again, this piece is warped, but I don't think it matters all that much. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Okay, cool. Once the tuning is done, lock the linear axis using the 2 side latches. What do you think, guys? I think it's pretty good motion-wise. The belt is way too loose. I'm going to have to fix that, but otherwise, motion-wise, it's great. Let's lock it. Yeah, there's a saying I was telling people earlier in Hebrew. That which doesn't go by force goes by more force. We're going to have to tension the belt later. Oh, it says right here, tensioning the belt. Move the selector as close to the selector motor as it can go. Okay. Align the pulley with the belt and then tighten both M3 screws. What does that even mean? Oh, height-wise. Cool. Remove one of the screws and apply thread locker. That's not the right one. Use wise. What's wise? Vice? Yeah, but then it wouldn't be entertaining, right? Where's the fun in that? Then you would know that I'm not going to break it. This way, I keep you on your edge of your seat. But you're right, I do have some clamps over there that are big enough I could use them. Thread locker. Thread locker. Yeah, 3D print the vise. You saw how that happened when I tried to 3D print a table vise. Okay, we're going to have to take this belt out and trim it. So in order to do that, I want to get this nice and loose all the way out. So I have a little bit of play with which to tension. I love these builds. I really do. Okay. It's tension. That is a very, very nice mechanism for tensioning the belt. See that? Feels pretty good. Look at that, guys. We have a working ERCF. Next question. Where do the LEDs go? Full ERCF. Encoder wires. Pass one of the encoder wires in. What do you mean one? What do you mean one? Encoder wires into the dedicated channel in the selector cart to define the wire length needed. Aha. So where is the encoder wire? Where did I put that? I think this was it. There's a lot of wiring still to be done, but look how much progress we've made. My word. Kind of drives me crazy that the numbers are upside down, but I'm not fixing it. Okay. Wires. The Anycubics Ace is going to hopefully be available for multiple printers. They're going to make it available for sure for all their printers and probably other people's printers as well. And I believe Creality is going to make a multi-material too. I think the K2 Plus one is going to be available for non-Creality printers if you want something polished. There's also Chroma Kit. That's an option. Wait, he's still building. Yep. And we got a lot more to do. All the LEDs, still not done. All the buffers, still not done. Rebuilding the tool head to have a filament cutter, not even close. I went to sleep yesterday and he was already building. Yes, that is probably true. Still going. Working for tips here. And likes. Just tucking in all these wires into this nice little cable channel they provided. All my wires are pre-crimped by FYSETC, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah, the Prusa MMU2 was not good from all accounts. It was very unreliable, so I think a lot of people didn't bother buying it, so a lot of companies didn't bother making one. Then the AMS, I think, borrowed heavily from it and from the ERCF. How are these cables supposed to stay in here when they're whipping around all the time? I don't know if ERCF is inspired by the MMU or if it is. The MMU3 is supposed to be good, by the way. I don't know if it's the other way around, to be honest with you. Super chat. Wow, 20 bucks. Thank you. Really appreciate that, Bart. That's awesome of you. Tips go a really long way into ensuring that I can do more live streams like this, so thank you. Pass all the wires in the channel, then connect the encoder and close selector door. No. What's supposed to go in there? Zip. I think probably both of them go in the zip tie area. Worst case, we do it later. Wow, Bart, that was super generous of you. Thank you. And yeah, you'll have this as a resource when you build yours. Are you building the ERCF kit, or the FYSETC kit, or another one? All right, beautiful, 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 beautiful. I don't understand how this is going to stay in there. Maybe a dab of rubber cement would go a long way, you know? We can deal with that later, though. Servo wires. Cut excess wires and connect the servo. You think I remember where the servo is? It's been 12 hours. Live streaming. I don't remember my name. Servo wires. Servo. Okay, here. Cut excess wires, connect the servo. It's already connected. Secure them using a zip tie. Yeah, we did that. We're good. Now we can close the selector door, which is magnetic. Ah, you're building the 8. Okay, cool. Amazing. Which printer do you feel cheated on, hey Bleep? All right, let me continue here. Now we need to do the drag chain. I don't remember seeing a drag chain. It is possible that I don't need a drag chain. Is there? I don't remember seeing one. Yeah, I don't have a drag chain here. P1P. Really? I don't have a P1P. I have here's the drag chain. I have a P1S, and I frickin' love it. And I say that despite the fact that I no longer have any association with Bamboo Lab. But my P1S is amazing. But I get that you feel cheated because now the P1P is kind of outdated and the P1S outshines it. Okay, M3 by 8. Pass the servo and encoder wires in the drag chain, then fix both ends. Is this one that opens? It is not. And I tell you what, I don't think these connectors are actually going to fit through. Are they? Please. Please. They're not. Guys, we're going to have to take this thing apart. I really don't want to. No association, yeah. I made a little mistake on one of their launches, and my video leaked before the embargo, and Bamboo cut off all ties with me. And maybe one day we will work together again, but that day is not today. The chain is not openable. It really would have been nice if it had been, because the connector doesn't fit. Okay, yellow, brown, red. Yep, I'm gonna have to. Yellow, brown, red. Can you guys remember that? Yellow, brown, red with the pins facing me. That's annoying. No, they don't open at all. This is a cheapy drag chain. Yellow, brown, red. Pain in the you know where. It's my pocket knife. I actually find I like my P1S maybe more than my X1 Carbon because it doesn't think it's smarter than me, and I don't get all the like LiDAR failure, wrong build plate, like all kinds of errors and warnings. The P1S just churns. If I were buying them with my own money, I would definitely get another P1S, not an X1. Poisonally. My hands are starting to give, guys. Like, I should be able to do this first try, and I can't get it at all. This is a long time to work. Getting a little frustrated. I think that's fair after nearly 12 hours of streaming. Yeah, I'm frustrated. This one is also yellow, brown, red. This one's coming apart. Oh yeah, I do have those tweezers here. Thank you, that is helpful. Much better. Much better. Thank you. Literally had them right next to me. My hands are really starting to hurt. Okay. Yellow, brown, red. Remember, guys. Let's get this right the first time. If you're having bed adhesion issues lately, go take boiling hot water and high quality dish soap. Dawn, like brand name dish soap. They are not all the same. I know people think they are not. Get a high quality dish soap and scrub the hell out of your build plate. And then wash it with boiling hot water. Your printer will be like new. Trust me on that. The trick to doing this is laying it flat on the table so they don't come out the back. They only come out the front. Fuckers. This is annoying. I hate this. This part I hate. It's halfway through and they're all untangling. And I think a magnet would pull them. No, no. No, no. IPA and hairspray? No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. If Dawn and hot water isn't working, Magigoo. That's my new secret. Magigoo, get the right kind for the stuff that you're printing. Holy shit, that stuff is actual magic. It is actual magic. I use the PC when I'm printing ASA, and then I use the normal stuff for everything else. Oh my god. Like, you could print this, and it would adhere to the bed like this. It's insanely good stuff. Not sponsored, but they do send me free Magigoo. I don't have an affiliate link or anything like that, though. Oh, come on. We're like almost through. Get in there, little bastard. Like, how much more would it have cost to just have the good cable chains? Maybe it's a size thing. Maybe because these are so small. But this is super annoying. That's one. 1 out of 6. 2 out of 6. The next one's going to be even harder because now we already have a cable through it. No worries, I don't take offense. ETCF? You mean ERCF? Or you mean the Enraged Rabbit Cottontail, which is the buffer system, which I have printed next to me, but I haven't started. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of weekends of frustration. Nobody ever said it was easy. This is like, you know, building a voron has become kind of mainstream. This is still a little further on the cutting edge. Okay, there's 3. Now we got to do 3 more. Let's put that Molex on so they don't pull through. Yellow, black, and red. Yellow, black, red. What is the difference between a Molex and a JST? I don't know. Purple glue stick. Ugh. Trust me, if you use something that's actually designed for it, like Magigoo, or I haven't tried Vision Miner, but it's night and day. And I've used a lot of glue stick in my day, but it is night and day. I only recently got Magigoo and it blew my mind. I don't think it's cheap, but they cater to industrial, you know, like when you really need the part to print, you don't want to mess around. This is a business application. You need that prototype. All right. Let's get a piece of tape or something and make this go through. $10 sample for $5. That's fantastic. Vision Miner is amazing. Magigoo is 100% worth it. I don't know what it costs, but it has blown my mind. I have a real problem printing ASA for some reason. It just never sticks to the bed. With Magigoo, no issues. I printed all this stuff with Magigoo, the majority of it. Oh, the electrical tape makes a big difference. Molex connectors are horrible to remove the pins and put them back. JST are much easier, but these are 2 families. Each company has a whole collection. So those are brand names? Didn't realize that. I mean, it makes sense. I always marvel at the crimping job that's strong enough to take my abuse. Like, I can't crimp that well. I guess it's all done by machines these days. But it is impressive that it withstands the abuse. Are you guys still happy with the overhead view, or you want a change of scenery? Wow, that's impressive, Bart. And yeah, that's kind of how Magigoo is. It's crazy stuff. It's like gloop. You glue 3D printed parts and you're like, okay, great. And then you don't know what you don't know until you discover a product that's actually been developed and engineered for the thing you're doing, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm only using this now. But it is easy for me to say. These companies send this stuff. Though I actually have paid for Gloop before. I was buying Gloop before I was getting it for free. And Magigoo I would pay for. Hands down. If they, like, tomorrow say, yeah, we can't send you anymore, sorry, I'm still buying it. It's that good. Thank you, electrical tape. You have served your purpose. Now, yellow and then black, brown, yellow, black, brown, red. Great. You can try printing those materials on an A1. You need an enclosure. And also, if you're using the AMS, because it's an A1, it won't let you like load up ASA and ABS and all those materials. It just won't let you. How long does it last? 7 to 10 prints usually. But I'll sometimes apply it much sooner just as cheap insurance. M3 by 8 FH. That means flathead. We are starting to run out of hardware, which is good. 20-ish with PETG. Yeah, PETG has no problems adhering, especially to PEI. It's so chemically similar. It's actually more of a release agent for those materials so that you don't rip up pieces of the PEI. PETG will stick like crazy. You need an enclosure 100% for ABS. You likely need it for ASA depending on your climate and situation. And you 100% need it for anything above that, like nylon, that kind of thing. ASA, you might have luck. But do you want to breathe in the fumes? An enclosure is a good thing to have if you want to get into more advanced materials. I mean, it's a must if you want to get into the very advanced materials. All right, cable chain, cable chain. How is this? Ah, from the bottom. Okay. Dried to low percent. You're saying you have to dry your ASA? I actually stopped drying ASA. I find I don't need to anymore. I think theoretically you could run polycarbonate on an A1. I don't think it's going to let you because Bamboo Slicer won't even let you select a polycarbonate when you print with the A1. At least not with the multi-material system. I know because I've tried. Theoretically, yeah, I think the hot end could go up to 300. The bed, I think, goes up to 110 or 100. I don't print polycarbonate with 110 anyway, even though they recommend. I usually print at 105 bed and 280 on the hot end. So theoretically you could. Should you? Probably not, unless you have a really good enclosure. It's kind of not what the printer is intended to do. I also don't know the exact spec of the hot end, if it can reach those temperatures. You can print polycarbonate with the bed at 100C. You'll do better if you use something like Magigoo that's going to adhere. Okay, cable chain installed. Haven't tried ASA, that's been left out very long. I may have to do it. Very high ambient humidity. I've currently definitely compromised PLA. Yeah, that's true. All right, ERCF. So the wires. Why do I feel like I just put all the wires backwards? Are you fucking kidding me? I put the wires backwards, but I can just reverse the cable chain. Wait, did I? Ow, I just got shocked by something. Funsies and PC typically don't go together. PC can be very hard to print. You can now crimp and add. I think I just ran the wires backwards. I did. But I'm not rerouting them. I am just going to flip the cable chain. Thank goodness that I can do that, because that was a bear to run all of them through. Getting there, but we still got to do the buffers. I keep reminding people. We got to do the buffers. We got to redo the tool head. Sometime, some way, the LEDs need to get done. Like I still have all those LED blocks. There's a lot of wiring, but it looks like the thing now, so. Okay, I think actually this is how it was supposed to be. Yes. Well, I'm really grateful that I don't have to redo that part. Hey, Drunken Physics, what's going on, man? Yeah, it's a fun build, honestly. I haven't been suffering. The hard part and the not fun part, I think, comes with software, as I keep repeating ominously. Like the software and then the tuning and getting it working properly and print quality and stuff. It's not plug and play. Okay, that heat set insert is a little too far back. Can we force it? No. No? No. Let's just push it in. POM? What is POM? And yes, I'm forcing this heated insert in, so the cable chain can be mounted a little more securely. I've never heard of POM filament. I think it's still not reaching. Yeah, I've had a good experience with Zero too. They sent me some rolls and I liked it. Get in there. Zero make generally beautiful filaments. They've got some really creative, you know, colors and stuff like that. I hadn't heard of them until very recently. They kind of came out of nowhere. All right. Cool. Mistake corrected. Now we need to get all this to go here. And zip tie. Oh, that's cool that you spoke to them about me. Yeah, they sent me some rolls. And then I told them that I put their filament in a video. I don't even think they replied. Saying like, oh, great. Nothing. So yeah, not great publicity. Okay, wiring, the multi-material board. I'm tempted to call it here because I don't know if I want to do this part. To be honest with you guys, I don't know if I want to do it right now. How long have I been streaming? What do you guys think? There's 40 people here, but I've literally streamed 10 hours today. I think I'm done. There's plenty of work left to be done, but I'm hungry. I want to go home. I miss my family. What do you guys think? I think we made great progress. Honestly. I mean, this is fantastic progress. Who am I kidding? But yeah, I'm hungry. I have a wife that probably would like my attention. All right. So that's the end of day one. That's 10 hours of work. We still have all the like electronics, the LEDs on both sides. I have no idea where they're going to go. These things, which I guess connect to the LEDs somehow, and are printed in polycarbonate, which is exciting. And then we have to do, see all this back here? All the buffers, 12 buffers, which is a lot of buffers. Then we have to do the tool head because it needs a filament cutter. Then we have to do all the software. Then we have to do all the tuning. This is a very big project. I love you guys. Thank you for everyone tuning in and watching. Yeah, it's going to be at least another 10 hours. Thank you to FYSETC for sending over the kit and Polymaker for all the filament that they send me. Thank you to everyone who tipped. I really appreciate tips. Thank you to everyone who joined as a Facebook member and Patreon supporter. It really makes a difference, guys. It makes me less beholden to sponsors and less needing to sell my soul. So thank you. And you guys rock. So I'm going to go eat. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care.